Good morning. Today, June 17th, 2016. It's the morning that I'm going to turn on HTTP2 on my site. Now I've laid the groundwork. You'll see I have SPDY or SPDY implemented, which really didn't do much. But I also have HSTS, strict HTTP for all web content. And here's a test page I have that's extremely rich in media. It takes a while to load. So up here you see 0.97 from cache. Let me hold down Control and hit F5. And you'll see 2.22. Let me hit F12. Hit F5, which you'll see disabled cache there. So you don't need to hit Control F5. So this is view the network. And pull it down. And again, we'll see a number here. 2.62, which matches this little add-on for Chrome within 1/100th of a second. All right, so that's some baseline data there. The server is physically in New York, and on Cloudways, many people, myself included, have been commenting about the wish for HTTP2. I lit it up for just a few minutes yesterday, and I found it brings down the site for about 10 seconds, and then I disabled it, and it also brought down the site for about 10 seconds. What's interesting here, though, is that at this moment in time in mid-June, when we do this test, Chrome does not benefit. And this article explains why. It's a really good article. But Firefox does. So fine, we'll use Firefox for our tests. Speaking of Chrome and Firefox, I just did a test this morning at 7:28 a.m. Right now it's 7:38, so 10 minutes ago. And there is the speed. Not great actually this morning for whatever reason. It's usually better. And again, this is a particularly media-heavy site. Sorry, media-heavy URL. And that's using Chrome. And if we look here, I haven't enabled HTTP2 yet on the server. So that's a Chrome test. How about I do another test? Same URL. Whoops, that's not the URL I wanted. Actually, it is. There we go. So instead of Chrome, we'll do Firefox and see how it does. So now we have a point of comparison coming up shortly here. While that's cranking away, we talked about this article a little bit, the implementation. Here's the actual article that explains why Chrome is not going to benefit. There's a whole lot of dependencies and so forth. But I will give credit to the folks at Cloudways for making this super simple. So you go into settings and packages in the new UI. So when you log into Cloudways, there's a new UI button and it redirects you to platform.cloudways. Anyhow, go to advanced and scroll on down to the bottom. And there it is. Da-da-da! HTTP2. Okay, so right there they acknowledge that there's an issue with Chrome. Nicely done. I think that's good. Let people be informed that right now, when they happen to have gotten it implemented, and it wasn't as simple as people thought it would be to get Nginx going with HTTP2 support, but it is the regular level of Nginx. They didn't want to go live on their production offering, which is actually DigitalOcean hosting this, on beta code. So there you go. All right. So now let's see if the web page test finished. So now we have a test with Firefox. 2.2, 2.8. 3.5, 3.0. Let's just rerun the test. So both tests are run within a short interval of time with one another. Okay, so that test should be done soon. And I'll then light it up. And we'll see how things go with before and after results. Now, Pingdom is another one. Tools.pingdom. Let's see if we can get a quick test done here as well. So we're going to use this article, paste a Pingdom, and see if the test runs. Now, Firefox finished, and that one is still going. So I don't want to do it quite yet. I also see how many people are on the website. Okay, there's 27 folks visiting active content on tinkertry.com right now at 7:41 in the morning. Well, it's only going to get busier, and I really want to get this done before the business day. So probably shouldn't have restarted that because that's taken kind of long, and as more and more people wake up, I find web page test has a longer and longer queue lately, which makes it kind of annoying. So I don't understand why the test would take that long if it started a minute ago. All right, well, let's see if this one tests quickly. And of course, the two might interact with one another. You need to do multiple tests. It's best to do maybe best of 3 or average of 3 runs. If you're having results that are wacky and all over the place, that's a really good idea. But if they're consistent within runs, 1.49, all right. So it looks like Pingdom is going to get me a whole lot faster result here. And consistent results within 0.2 seconds of each other. All right, how did webpage do? It finished. So we have 2.5, 2.2, very similar results between Chrome and Firefox from a server at webpagetest.org in New York to the DigitalOcean server that this Cloudways instance of web server is running on. It's time. Let's flip the bit. So here we go. HTTP enabled. Save changes. Now, before I hit save changes, let's leave this running. Okay, website. Change applied. If I hit F5 for this article, it's staying up. Hit Control F5. It's staying up. It's staying up. On the left side there, not sure. Whoa, there we go. It's down. Control F5, still down, still down. Should have left a clock showing. But from what I remember doing this briefly yesterday, there you go. Only about 15 seconds of downtime or even less. So it finished. In other words, if I hit F5 over here and let it repaint the whole screen and scroll down to the bottom again, under Advanced, we'll see it's enabled. So HTTP is alive. This number, I don't know if it ever dropped, but that's okay. So now it's time for the HTTP2 checker. Test. Yes. All right. I actually didn't check that. Let's see. I tweeted yesterday when I briefly talked about Cloudways and alignability. I don't remember actually seeing the green, so this is exciting for me. Again, for years I've wanted this, and I do have an article that talks all about my infrastructure right here. What I'm hosted on, how I'm doing content delivery right now. I'm bouncing between KeyCDN and CDN77, for instance, and Amazon Web Services, CloudFront. So all the details, the nitty-gritty is there. But building and getting HTTP2, well, I had to have a certificate. It was one of the first steps. And get HTTPS ready. Okay. Time for retesting. So let me duplicate this, and let's duplicate this. So I'm going to rerun this test on Chrome. And now I get to wait a little bit. And we already know the results are pretty consistent. Even if we hit it with multiple servers, we get 1.4 to 1.6 before. And now we're using Pingdom test, which I have no idea what browser it emulates or pretends it is, Firefox or Chrome. And we're getting the same result there. And of course we have webpagetest.org running at the same time. Not a brilliant idea, but whatever. Okay, second run. A little faster, 1.28. Again, I'm trying to keep a video moving, keep things snappy within seconds here. Looks like Pingdom is doing a much better job for me at getting multiple tests going in a row. So we're doing, slightly better. But that's, of course, from a server in New York, where you'd kind of expect less results. Melbourne would have been a smarter idea or something further. Let's go a little further and do Dallas. Well, you don't have a before reference anyway, so I should probably stick with New York. Slightly slower. Again, super media heavy URL I've picked. Most of my pages will load way faster than this, or under a second. Especially in the US, but the CDN, the Content Delivery Network, flinging things all over the world. The content, well, that's trying to help with the speeds, right? So that it loads similar speeds wherever you are, and HTTP2 should help even further. Okay, did this finish? So here's Chrome at 741. Here's Chrome again at 746 now, and we're hoping to get a result on that. You can kick off multiple, so I'm going to do the Firefox test as well. Let's click rerun. I don't want to have to wait too long. Now, why it's talking about caching there and an F, I don't quite know, because I was at a B or a C, I thought earlier. I'll have to look into that. More important is I plan to do a whole bunch of changes for the infrastructure in August or September of 2016 for Tinkertry.com. So those details and those further optimizations that can be done, let's set those aside. Duly noted. I understand. I need to work on those. Okay. Well, we're going to wait for those. Now, waterfall view, I did show you briefly earlier. So let me get you back to that. Hit F12. Go back to network, hit F5. And 2.59, let's try that again. 2.42, consistent results, very much like what we got here. This one even quicker, actually. Okay. Now, remember what I talked about? Let's do it a 2.4, 2.7, 2.9. Okay. It's definitely time to fire up Firefox. And let's see if we get a difference. Now, I don't have a speed visualizer there, so I'm going to hit F12. I should have disabled plugins for all these tests, and I didn't do that. Sorry about that. Whoops. Okay, so we've got network showing. Going to hit the reload button. And let's see if we do a little better with HTTP2 benefits with the Firefox browser on the right. And the answer appears to be a terrible 5.1 seconds on that one. I'm not sure what to say there. I hit F5. Okay. Again, lousy. Wow, consistently worse. Let's go back here. And hit F5 on Chrome. .24, okay. So something's going on where the server's busier, or I don't really know. 2.4. 2.4. Head on back over here. 3.8. So we're just not seeing a benefit. We're actually seeing Chrome performing worse. Well, that's interesting. All right. Did this test finish? Yep. Did we do any better? 2.5. Nope. Slightly worse. Okay. Top. Darn. I wish I had shown top during this whole video. So I did have top running here. Before I started the video, it jumped to 7% briefly and then would stay low. And you can see it's still extremely low. Nginx, Apache, nobody's having trouble at all staying up on this server. All right. Well, we got to get Firefox run. So we want to rerun on Firefox, and it's now 7:50 a.m. And I already know, gonna have to wait a bit. Test is not actually underway on the left, so I'm gonna run it, sneak another one in on the right. Yep. So we're getting what feels like worse performance. Let's see if the test on the left bears that out. Now there will be a performance comparison button we're going to want to use. So on webpagetest.org, we should be able to do some comparisons. So we already acknowledged that these two are awfully similar, although time to first byte went up a little bit. The whole view shifted to the right a little. So I want to look at why that might be. And I do not know off the top of my head why that is. Nothing jumps out. Cool, the rerun's done. 2.1, 2.0. Wow. So here we are in Firefox. We're supposed to see benefits, and we're just not. And that's interesting because yesterday when I briefly turned it on for just like, I don't know, 4 minutes, I was seeing what I thought was a performance boost. But apparently I'm not able to repeat those results. So yeah, there's that. So F5 over here, 2.61, F5 over here, in excess of 4 seconds. Okay, well, I think you know what's next. Disable, save changes, and head back here. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Hit F5, Control F5, doesn't matter. The network's going to go down as the website goes down. Okay, well, it looks like it disabled quicker than it enabled. Let's see if Speedy shows up. Sorry, if HTTP2 shows up. It's off already. Okay, time for this good old waterfall view. F5, so 2.6, around there. Every result, 2.6 has gone up hasn't gone up at all. It's moving all over the place. 2.2, 2.4. So it looks like from Chrome, no difference, and that would be expected. How about from Firefox, where we had hoped to see a speed boost? Edge browser would be fun, but I would need a plugin that measures speeds, or just use its waterfall view, 5.14. To 4.2. Not really seeing a sizable difference. All right. Let's see if we can get some results compared. Okay, how do we know which run is which? Oh, wow. We don't. We're seeing a red and blue line that basically align. We're seeing orange and green that pretty much align. CPU busyness, there's definitely a difference. Number of requests, a difference for other, but images in total, very little difference. And the overall number of bytes, very little difference. So yeah, page load times, visual progress varied. So which test is... Okay, so we're able to change it and label these. So if I go back here, we got Chrome. I'm not sure which comes out on top, but we can fix that now. All right. Firefox, HTTP2, and Firefox, because that's a later test, right? And then earlier. All right, so now we click on compare. Things should be much clearer what's going on. So Firefox, time to first byte, or starting to get something visual well under a second. Chrome much later. and actually a little better on Speedy or without HTTP2. Okay, 3.4. So no difference made in Firefox and some difference on Chrome, but Chrome just performed quite a bit lousier. I'm not sure what else there is to say there. Okay, we could do this test again, I suppose. And no big shocking change seen there. So I'm going to want to redo this whole test at a different time of day, say. Also, let's just try this. F12, network. Now I hit F5. Nothing's happening. Let's hit that. Okay, 3.52. 3.5, so consistent on Edge browser. No changes to save because I forgot to flip the toggle. So I'm going to turn it back on again. Yep, that's going to take out web traffic again. I don't think this number is actually going to drop though because it's for so few seconds. So if I hit F5 over here, refresh, at some point all traffic's going to croak. 3.808. 3.47. Again, pretty lousy times. Okay, website completely down. Google Analytics hasn't figured that out yet on the left. Website back up. Wow. That was under 2 seconds of downtime, it would seem. How's top looking? There was never much CPU load to begin with, so it's going to be pretty hard to tell if top is acting any different. It's such a lightly loaded server. Okay, Python just jumped to the top momentarily, but Apache Nginx, the usual stuff. Okay. Let's just hit this a few times, see if anything spectacular happens with Edge. Ooh, 1.15. All right, 1.26. Is there caching? I don't know. I'm going to hold down Control F5. Can't remember with Edge browser if Control F5 is legit as a way to force network load. 1.23. So I'm holding down Control and just hitting F5 over and over, and I'm getting 1.3-ish results. Very consistent. I'm going to let go of the Control now. And hit F5 again. 2.06, actually longer than that one. 1.1, 1.6, excuse me. So yeah, it seems like it's disabled the cache. Now if we hover over these, let's see what we got here. Okay, that's better. So now when I hit F5, well, nothing happens. Going to hit the refresh button at the top. We know it's pulling from the server, and now it's a legitimate test. Before, who knows? And we have a lousy result there too. All right. Oh, what's the only thing I haven't looked at? Oh yeah, there's Firefox again. Why not? The thing I haven't looked at is like Melbourne, something really far away where the performance would be about as bad as you can get. There's Firefox not doing great. All right, so speed tests here. I brought up the wrong instance of Chrome just now. Excuse me. And that's not what I wanted either. And this is what I wanted. All right, a distant web page. So we already know what happens here over and over. Let's try something very distant. where content delivery network is key, and maybe HTTP2 will make a bigger difference. We don't know what browser Pingdom is using, but we do know that's a pretty crummy time. So 6 seconds for Melbourne. About 6 seconds for Melbourne. Let's turn this off. Let's run that one more time. Gosh, that's annoying. All right. Okay. Save changes. Pages down. Pages down. Pages down. So we're at about 10 seconds of outage. All right, here we go. Start the test. So we were at somewhere in the 5-second range, roughly, from Melbourne with, I have no idea what browser, with HTTP2 on. HTTP2 off now. We're doing maybe slightly worse, not statistically significant because I only ran it once. I'll go ahead and run it 3 times. If it's never... 5 seconds. I was going to say if it's never in the 5-point-something second range, well, maybe there's a difference, but no. It seems like it's about the same for Melbourne. That one's actually fastest we've seen. I'm running it a 4th time. Okay, so the results vary from Melbourne, about as far as you can get from New York. And the results are not spectacular. I should have also tried maybe Sweden. Well, I don't really know what to draw from these results other than Web Page Test is really handy because we can change our browser, we can label it, and we can get a nice waterfall view. So I'm going to kind of reserve judgment and run all this at a different time of day, at a different time, a different date as well, excuse me. And I don't know, I'll see if some trends emerge or see what might be going on. But at this moment in time, it does not appear that HTTP2 is giving me a benefit. Plus, Chrome is a very common browser for my site visitors. So the benefits of lighting up HTTP2 now may not be there quite yet anyway. So that's about it. Okay, opacity, that's what that's about. Interesting. Colors, let's see if the color coding. Ah, nice. So now the graph actually means something. Here's our results, but only run once. But Firefox, very consistent among runs and faster. And Chrome, very little difference, probably not statistically significant between runs. So the two browsers being very different from each other is what stands out here. That Firefox is just trouncing Chrome, whether I have HTTP2 on or not. Which is a bit of a surprising result, frankly. All right. Well, thank you for watching. And thank you for visiting tinkertry.com. Hopefully you found this article and video helpful. Good day.